shoot, what said did you claim it? Instant Xbox, spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talker, no riddling, moonwalker, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That much make it a portrait. Gun kick back, not grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's a man with king? No response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot, what said did you claim?
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. Now, we've made it through during the week to an incredible Saturday. And if you hung out for Fight Night Friday, you saw we was playing Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, an immaculate fighting game where tons of fun was to be had. Now, excuse me. If this is your first time finding the channel, please become a sub. Take my invitation. And if you want to further help the channel, become a member. Members of the lifeblood of the stream. But understand this. If you love Xbox, well, you met your new best friend. Me, the King. I go live every day, Monday through Friday. And Friday is a special day where we stay for extended sessions playing combat sports video games. You can join in on all the fun. Just join in, join the Discord, join the conversation, have fun. But let's get back to what we have at hand. Now, there's a lot of misinformation going about, and I'm here to clear a lot of that misinformation up so you guys can be well informed on the next generation of Xbox hardware, software, and games that are releasing. If you love Xbox, well, I got you covered. This article is brought to you by Fraser Gilbert over at Pure Xbox. We'll see more games come to Xbox quicker. Microsoft execs talk about plans for the future. One of the ID at Xbox leads discussed the benefits of for its developers. Now, there's obviously been a lot of focus on the future of Xbox at GDC this week, and presentations and Microsoft execs, Guy Richards at ID at Xbox, has been speaking about the recent interview on the game business. Now, Richards was asked during the interview about developers and publishers, particularly on the indie side of things, being that majority of the time, very early on in the console's development, the indies are the ones that hold up most of the fort until the identity markers are shown. Should Xbox work with indies specifically, and when they focus on Steam and potentially achieve similar results, why should they work on the Helix versus the Steam? Microsoft execs responded by explaining that due to the Xbox future, where you'll be able to build once and ship everywhere, we'll see more games come to Xbox a whole lot quicker. And this is his words verbatim. We're working towards a future where you'll be able to build once and ship everywhere. By making it easier, we will see more games come to Xbox quicker. If you're a developer, putting your game out across the many different storefronts and platforms increases your opportunities for sales. We are differentiating and making sure that it's easy as possible for players to carry on playing wherever they play with Xbox Play Anywhere. Xbox is a great home for developers. We have really engaged in a real high-spending audience, and it's great to bring and sell games to that environment. The exec reportedly highlighted a couple of success stories like Clay Obscura Expedition 33, Ready or Not, and Hollow Knight Silksong when talking about this, as well as less high-profile successes where smaller teams have been able to make 100,000 to 200,000 from their games on Xbox. In fact, he says there are many developers, more so than ever, jumping onto the Xbox bandwagon. That just highlights exactly their philosophy when it comes to developing games for Xbox. So a lot of times where you get fluff, you get no fluff here. The biggest question is, what is the Windows end when it comes to the Xbox experience? And we had Xbox full screen experience happening. We thought that that would be the name for it, but it just never really stuck. So Microsoft's full screen Xbox mode will roll out on Windows 11 PCs in April. Now, this is the exact same thing that you have when it comes to Steam. When it comes to Steam's big screen mode, this is the exact same thing, where the PC itself mimics a console. Now, this is to an extent the same thing, but this is where the difference comes. There will be Xbox inside the DNA of the Helix, the reason why it's called Project Helix, merging the two, the PC and the console, into one unit. But coming this April is exciting for a lot of Windows owners, Windows 11 owners, because in April, and probably around like the 17th, you would see Microsoft debuts its first full screen Xbox experience to that crowd. But you were able to play this if you had an Xbox ROG Ally X. Well, Windows Experience full screen experience for the Xbox ROG Ally X handheld was there in a bid to compete with Steam. And it nearly took 15 years for that to happen. The Xbox interface eventually made its way to Windows 11 gaming portables last year. And today at GDC, Microsoft revealed that its big screen Xbox user interface is heading to Windows 11 devices, including laptops and desktops, in April. And it's called Xbox Mode. A mode will be available in select markets at first, and Microsoft described it as bringing a controller-optimized experience to your Windows 11 devices, letting players browse their libraries, launch their games, use Game Bar, and switch between apps. Just like Steam Big Picture Mode. Microsoft didn't have much else to share about the optimizations in Xbox Mode, but when it debuted the feature for Windows 11 insiders last fall, like myself, the company noted that its Task Switcher will let people quickly move between games as well as their apps. I can attest by this because I actually used the app, and it was highly indistinguishable from playing on dedicated hardware in most instances. And I'm going to talk about that in my closing. This article is brought to you by Wes Davis over at IGN. Now, I know a lot of you guys have gotten your Xbox ROG Ally X like myself. Disclosure, Microsoft and Xbox sent me my review copy of the Xbox ROG Ally X. Now, I know a lot of you have received it and wanted to know what was the hubbub about it. Well, there's an NPU in the box. And that NPU in the box is going to be woken very soon. But before that happens, upscaling technology has been with us for a while with DLSS and FSR. Those technologies, along with PSSR and PSSR2, have been helping gamers for a long time now. Well, your Xbox ROG Ally X is due for a crucial performance update in April. Xbox says it's planning to add the automatic super sampling resolution to the ASUS handheld. Microsoft announced at GDC today that it will be adding automatic super resolution, Auto SR, to ASUS Xbox ROG Ally X in April. The feature, which was originally part of Copilot and PCs that feature Snapdragon X or X2 processors, should give players higher frame rates thanks to AI processing that lets the system render games at lower resolution and scale them up to higher ones. In a video posted by Kotaku, Ethan Catch. Microsoft showcases Forza 5 running on an Xbox ROG Ally X, first at 35 frames per second without auto resolution SR turned on, and then with around 51 frames per second with it active. The company says tuning and auto SR would mean turning on auto SR would mean an almost 30% frame rate boost, all while maintaining nearly the equivalent visual quality. It's worth noting, though, that the feature, which only works for games with DirectX 11 or DirectX 12 support, can also introduce latency in its existing implementation. But those are being ironed out. The coming update is a great change for the system, which already has the best gaming handheld on PC in the market. The Xbox ROG Ally X is actually making a turn for the better. This article is brought to you by Emma Roth at The Verge. Microsoft Copilot Assistant is coming to current Xbox consoles this year. Now, after bringing the AI assistant to Xbox mobile app and Windows 11 and the Xbox ROG Ally, Microsoft is ready to launch it on Xbox. Now, I have used Copilot on many different devices. It's a non-intrusive AI assistant that allows you, when stuck, when needing help in certain instances, you can call upon it to help out. Putting it into a gaming format was something that was talked about in the past. They were working on the kinks in the background and trying to figure out how it can be of assistance. Well, having an armchair buddy, having a co-pilot, if you will, when it comes to it, is an optional, and it's a purely optional feature. It's an optional feature like Game Pass. It's nothing essential to your gaming. There's nothing necessarily intrusive about it. It's only intrusive if you make it that way. So Copilot being available for individuals that may need that extra assistant for video games, it's an actual boon for them. Now, if you feel like it's a pariah and you feel like you will not have anything to do with AI assistant helping in gaming, well, that's something that you can do. The Xbox is getting ready to launch Gaming Copilot Assistant on the current gen consoles this year, according to a report from Games Radar. Xbox product manager for gaming AI revealed during a panel at GDC, adding that the company will also add the assistant to more services that players are playing. This availability in allowing individuals that may not game as good as you or may feel that they need more assistance when it comes to what their gaming limitations are set at. Well, this can only end well for those individuals. Now, a lot of information has been being passed around about how the next Project Helix, the next Xbox Project Helix won't have Steam involved and the software storefront. No, that's absolutely untrue. What you get with your Xbox ROG Ally X right now, where you have multiple storefronts, everything is available to you in the palm of your hand, will be the same experience that you will have when it comes to Project Helix. That experience and then some. So your Steam library will be available. The incorporation of your Steam and your Xbox is kind of crazy because when you pull up your library, it shows you all the games that you have, be either it's Steam, GOG, Epic Store, whoever you purchased your game from, your library is available to you, especially Xbox. What is very, very potent when it comes to this information, and the reason why is very detrimental, because a lot of people are making informed decisions on their purchasing aspects and their prospects going forward. And if their Steam library is included, well, then this makes it an absolute no-brainer purchase when it comes to that. One of the bigger issues were people was having the question, well, what will the new Xbox have as far as MPUs and APUs inside the box? And It will have these things. I'm not a tech wizard, so I lean heavily on other tech wizards and gather information and bring that back to you guys. What I can tell you from listening to the keynote speech at GDC with Jason Ronald is that machine learning, it will have two variations of machine learning that are inside the box. Now, the Copilot aspect of it will be available. And like I told you before, I told you 100 times, uh, these devices are data mines. They mine your data and they ship that data back and they sell it off. That's where they make the majority of your money. So when people are asking questions like how would Microsoft make money with all these storefronts and all this stuff, as long as you're on their hardware and they're collecting your data, your spending habits, your the idiosyncrasies that you do with your gaming habits versus your viewing material, those habits, that is where the true money lies. You are a walking, talking commodity within itself. The biggest thing that I was excited for was that when you make a game for Xbox. You make a game once and you ship everywhere. Xbox Play Anywhere, the XPA, is a huge initiative over at Microsoft. It's a hard stance that they're taking because this service benefits all. Now, once you join in and you're a part of that initiative, they showed a stack in which making games will be easier. They showed the shader stack. They showed the direct storage stack. They showed the Copilot stack. They showed so many different software iterations that are going to be included inside the XDK that it starts to get kind of daunting if you are not an engineer or developer inclined. You tend to lean on individuals that understand how to decipher that information. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our best to make sure that you have all information that is necessary in doing so. But right now, it seems that Xbox and Microsoft is making sure that developers are choosing Xbox when it comes to developing their games in conjunction of whoever else they choose to make their game for. Because remember, third-party companies should have as little to no barriers as possible or excuses when it comes to making your games. Xbox themselves are at the best moment for the consumer, with laying all the stuff bare and showing you where they are planning to take the platform. This is something that you have to realize that is very important for gamers, the games, and ensuring that games like Bravely Default launch onto the console with little to no friction. It is something that you guys have to see and notice as true effort. With development kits shipping early 2027 with a release date in 2027, the console will have tons of games, tons of developers, and a robust roadmap to the future. Xbox is at an all-time high when it comes to you, the gamer. You're central in all of this. If you actually look at it, from making games easier for developers to develop, to making games more accessible with Copilot, to making games run at the perfect frame rate for the hardcore gamers with auto super resolution. With all these innovations, with their direct storage, making games faster, larger, bigger worlds, Xbox is covering all fronts when it comes to pushing innovation, pushing games, and making sure everyone is included. Well, this is the part in the video where I'm going to ask you to like, follow, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell because I go live daily and I drop videos on the weekend. If you're a member, you got this video early, and I salute you, soldier. But this is the part where I'm asking you to go where I'm going to go, where you should be, where I don't know. It's like kind of a no-brainer, especially if you love Xbox. I want you to go where game is game and win is win. And try to play the Game Pass.
I'm asking you to be in charge. Be in charge of your own mind. Be in charge of your own destiny.